Nick Saban said that the SEC is still the best conference, and I respectfully disagree. And when are we going to finally admit that the Big Ten has finally caught the SEC? What's up? My name is Ray. This is the Robb Report. Let's just get straight to it, man. The last 3 years, the national champions have been Michigan, the Ohio State, and the Indiana Hoosiers. And all I always keep hearing is if these Big Ten teams came into the SEC, they would have more problems, that the SEC has more depth and everything like that. At one point, that was the undisputed truth. But let's get to some of the facts. Some facts that I don't think people would like to hear. Tell me why that almost every Big 12 school that has come into the SEC was not elite at the time that they came into the SEC and has enjoyed, besides a couple of teams, more success recently than I known them to do in the last 10, 20 years. Missouri came into the SEC, they got better. Texas A&M was okay in the Big 12. They got better. Oklahoma and Texas, when they came into the SEC, they were not elite. The defenses were terrible. Yet, as soon as Texas came into the league, they've been the best team since they've come into the SEC. So I guess my question is, not knocking them, but how come they can come into the SEC and it's no problem, but you don't think that certain Big Ten teams can do the same? And not to mention, that championship game at 23 against Michigan, that was against Washington, another team that's coming to the Big Ten. Then we got USC. So all of the balance and information that they're saying is just not correct. Oh, let's also bring up the fact that in the last 2 years, in bowl games, that the Big Ten is 8-2 versus the SEC and 3-0 in the playoffs. And I don't want to hear any of that opt-out stuff, because when the SEC, a.k.a. mainly Nick Saban, was dominating and players were opting out then, and the SEC were winning in the bowl games, nobody cared about those things. So now that it's flipped, since NIL has become a major factor, and then the Big Ten has been allowed to balance it out, all of a sudden things have changed. Are there stronger teams? And I'll say the SEC has 6 or 7 teams, yes. And I'll say that the Big Ten has about 4 or 5. But those 4 or 5 are better than those 7. And we had Oregon, who's been in the top 5 for the last 4 or 5 years. So y'all can kind of miss me with that. It's incorrect information.